Okay, now the letter of James. Well, no one does this much upload, but and for a good reason. But I always spat on customs, so why not? I just need these to summarize things before I start mini epistles to John, 3 John, and Judah. So I do this anyway. Uh, why these letters, epistles, are called common? They are not common, or I don't know. Well, in James, at least you can see that the people who James sent this letter are also the Jews. Well, he says the 12 tribes of the Israelites or Jews or whatever, but of course 10 tribes are lost, and he might send this to all the Christians, but the letter still says it is for the 12 tribes. So this is in a letter to the Jews. Just for that you could give the authorship of the Hebrews to James. Why not? It has that much reason as to associate it to Paul. Yeah, be happy to suffer. Yeah, something about from Monty Python. Yes. Lie on your state of life. If you are rich, you have to say you are poor. If you are poor, you have to say you are rich. I say that is a lie. There is this thing that God never tempts anyone. Well, how about Genesis 22.1, 2 Samuel 24.1, or Matthew 6.13? God never changes. Well, he did change a lot from whatever. And if there is no change in God, then God cannot exist, let's face it. No change means there is nothing, it is death, oblivion. Also the James very definitely says you have to act. You will be judged by your acts too, not just by your face. Only believing, only have the right face is not enough. That is, if you don't act good, then you are a liar. Yes. This is the first place where the Gehenna's concept is used as a supernatural, in a supernatural meaning. He praised God for burning things. That sounds horrid. He claims that humanity tamed every animal. Even now we didn't even discover every animal, not to mention taming them. So this can go to the apocryphas too. There are some interesting would-be experiment for gardeners or biologists to mix figs with grapes and grapes with oil trees. I wonder if we could do that. I bet with enough try and error we could do. not like James seems to indicate. But there are very nice things in James, well, compared to other scripts in the Bible. Mm. But there is that thing that don't be friend with the world, but, well, that seems to be an anti-environmental, so that anti-Greenpeace thing. He says this and this, but there is no scripture apart from James itself what says that. You can look up in James, that is not that long what I am talking about here, because I didn't make a note about what happens. Obey, 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 yeah, who cares? God is the lawmaker, judge, and executor. You know, that thing never worked in real justice systems. That leads always to corruption. There is this thing that if you have the possibility to do good and you don't do that, then you are evil. But what is if you have two good things, but you have the possibility for only one to do? And other questions arise in me when I read that verse. For chapter 5, verse 1, I read an interesting skeptical theological discussion that in Job 22.3 to 24 says that God gives riches to his favorites, also in whatever, but in Proverbs 50.6, but here in chapter 5.1 it is said that rich people will be punished for being rich by God. So God first makes his favorites rich, then he punishes his favorites because they are rich. Well, seems questionable. Yes, other bad things glorifying and some false things about the weather. Well, that's about it.